That's really weird how the thumbnail when I share the stream is really bad. It doesn't show the thumbnail that I put on. Why is that the case? I edited the thumbnail, but it shows up as like my channel banner in the thumbnail. That's pretty weak, man. Is this the third Century Egg live stream attempt? No, this is the second one. This is the second attempt, and now that we have 9 viewers, I will explain the concept. This is a century egg. They call it a century egg because it's pitch black and putrid green because it's been aged for a few months. Yep. So it's not 100 years old, but it's a few months old, and it's black and green. And I will open it up and eat it and swallow it if we get to 50 viewers. I'm not going to do it for 9 viewers. I'm going to do it for 50 viewers. Most of the Yakuza are of Korean descent, says Dan. Is that true? Every Yakuza movie I've ever seen, I don't recall there being any Korean characters, though. Like, have you seen the battles without... What do they call it in English? Battles without honor and humanity? Or in Japanese, Jingi Naki Tatakai? That movie, or the series of movies, is so incredible. Especially the first one, though. The first one is so good. And that music that comes in whenever they assassinate somebody. Like... That's great. You gotta watch that movie. It's on Netflix. Battles Without Honor or Humanity. But yeah, I don't know much about the real Yakuza today. Besides, they run the horse race gambling. They run the red light districts, the host clubs, the hostess bars. Yeah. I have heard that there's some Koreans that own some of the casinos over here, so I don't know. I don't know, man. That's my breakfast right there. Thought I would just chill out and do a little stream in the morning before I go about my business. What are my plans for today? I'm going to go to the fish market. Gonna buy some sashimi. And then I'm gonna go to the gym. And then I think my girlfriend's gonna come over. Last night she asked me to wash a sweater of hers that she left here, and I didn't do it. And I don't feel like doing it. So I'll see how she reacts. Maybe she's disappointed in me. That's fine. I'll take a little disappointment. Surströmming next. I actually would be down to try surströmming. I would definitely eat surströmming. I think I could handle it. I could do it. I saw you recently re-uploaded. None of the videos are deleted. They're all set to private. So I can release any old videos at any time. They're not re-uploaded. Did it appear on your timeline or something? Did it send it out as if it was a new upload? Like, why do you think I re-uploaded it? That's interesting. Because if it sends it out to subscribers, that'd be kind of fun. To just, like, unprivate some of the old gems. and then it'll appear in your timeline. I could make a post about it, I guess, on YouTube. I can make a post whenever I unprivate something. I could just unprivate them all, but there's just too much shit to sift through. Like, you don't need to see every, you know, I don't know, like, monster live action series announced reaction. You don't need to see every video like that. The rock climbing gym. Rock climbing gym's too far away, so I stopped rock climbing. I still have my climbing shoes. Don't use them. I just go to the regular gym. And it's the same price as the rock climbing gym, so it's a ripoff. Pretty small, shitty gym, but it's just the closest one nearby, so gotta do what you gotta do. I'm thinking about quitting, though, because I don't know. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? It's always a pain in the ass. I don't really enjoy it. I don't like working out. I don't like lifting. It's not fun. I try to make it fun, listening to music I like or listening to some podcasts, so I can kind of multitask that time so it doesn't feel like I'm just doing something I don't like. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like going to the gym. Never have been a gym guy. So I may stop. Maybe I'll stick to it a little longer. Because if I quit now, it's a little too early. I've only been doing it for like 3 months. 3 months, yeah. M Random says I won't ask about Christmas lights again, so don't close the stream. Oh man. Yeah, I called you out yesterday for that question. They do have Christmas lights all over town, though. It is very nice. Even though these people are heathens and they don't believe in Christ. We still do have Christmas lights everywhere. Speaking of which, they do have... Dude, what are you guys spamming this fucking thing in the chat? Like, I don't understand. Yesterday too, day before too. People are just spamming this shit. I don't know what it is. Don't just fucking spam some bullshit in the chat. Tell me what the fuck it is. No, I took down the manga collection video because I think it's cringe. That's the only reason I took it down. It's kind of cringe. But I guess people like to watch it because I have a lot of manga. But it's, I don't know. I don't find it... Listen, man. When you look back at yourself in the past, you always look at yourself in a negative way, I think. Which is not a bad thing. It means that you're, you know, changing and growing as a person, so... But, yeah, so I guess I should be fine with it and just leave it up. Like, it's not a big deal. But I remember I tried to watch it back, and I was like, wow, I really don't like this video anymore. So that's why I took it down. That's the only reason. After World War II and the start of the Korean War, a lot of Koreans couldn't go back home and started lives in Japan. However, due to Gai Kokujin Nantuka Nantuka, they were seen as illegal aliens and had no legal status. Yeah. So they had no choice but to do crime, basically, because they couldn't work legally. That's really interesting. I didn't know that. Which led them to mostly join the Yakuza or become Japanese communist part of the Red Army. Okay, I don't know about that. That's pretty cool. That makes sense. I know there's a really sticky, pretty bad history between Japan and Korea, Japan and China. None of these neighbor countries really like Japan. But the young people do, which is Japan's biggest weapon in the world. And it wasn't even intentional, I think. Like, for example, with the Korean government, they actually produce K-pop as part of their government program. Like, they fund K-pop because they know that K-pop promotes their image internationally. They know that they're getting into the brains of the youth internationally. And so people all around the world are growing up with this very positive image of Korea, and the government is pushing it, right? But with Japanese media, I don't think there was ever a program like that in Japan. It just happened to be that Japan made the best video games, made the best animation, and that's what captivated us when we were kids in different countries all around the world. And that's what led to, I think, most people my age, or around my age, 20s, 30s, having a positive perception of Japan, regardless of its kind of fucked up history, modern history. I think that's really interesting how, because of Japanese media, anime, and games, nobody's ever really gonna hate Japan, you know, because we all have this soft spot in our hearts for Japan, and it's the same for young Chinese people, I'm sure, and young Koreans too. Like every Korean I've met, well, they're in Japan, so obviously they don't hate Japan, but every Korean I've met, like, nobody really cares at all about the history, which is interesting. Very interesting to me. You going back and removing vids you hate is the equivalent of directors going back to edit their classic movies. Change my mind. I don't think that's... I mean, that's a... You're just, you know, tooting my horn a little bit, comparing my little videos to classic movies. I guess it is comparable, but it doesn't really work because my videos are not classic movies. But okay, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I could see that. Why do we only have 4 likes on this stream? Is it because I never ask people to like the videos? Should I be doing that? Every fucking YouTuber, it sickens me though. Every YouTuber is like, make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps the channel, guys. Oh man, it really helps the channel. I'm the only fucking guy who just never says that kind of shit. And maybe that's why it doesn't help my channel. So maybe I gotta stop saying that. Dude, I don't know what you guys are typing. Like, some of your sentences just don't make sense. Like, what is this? What am I supposed to comment on this? You going... No, not... The man's finds manga, the blood, sweat, and tears cringe when in a collection code. Please elaborate. What are you talking about? Like, please elaborate on what? Maybe if you write a proper sentence, you know, with a subject and a predicate, I can I can respond to what you're saying. Yo, what's up, old shaman? Long time no see. How's it poppin'? I've been playing some rare Japanese PlayStation 1 games at the end of this stream, so maybe you'd be interested in that. I know you're a rare gamer yourself, retro gamer out here. Are you a fan of Tatsuro Yamashita? Yes, I am a fan. I love that kind of music. I really dig it. It's kind of like my go-to music when I just want to chill out and listen to some Japanese shit. I put on Takeuchi Mari or Tatsuro Yamashita. It's a good question from Dan. Are you going to do cigar videos in the future, old shaman? Dude, I tried smoking a pipe actually, but Like, it was a lot of effort and I wasn't getting a nice puff. So I stopped. I gave the pipe to a friend of mine, a Frenchman, who was a big fan of the tobacco. So I gave him the pipe. I said, you know what? I tried it. I tried the pipe. I thought a pipe would be cool. I think pipes are probably cooler than cigars because, you know, the shape of it is kind of like interesting. It's kind of like you're some sort of some sort of, like cigars have the association of, like, big fat men sitting around, huffing and puffing on these big fat sticks, But a pipe is more refined, I feel. It's a little more refined and a little cheaper too. It's cheaper and it's classier. All right, that's how I'm gonna put it. So I tried the pipe, and yeah, not my thing. Tobacco's not my thing. I tried everything, man. I definitely tried. I earnestly tried smoking a pipe, and then I gave it up fairly quickly because ultimately I don't want to be using drugs. Alright? Just don't want to be using drugs. I kind of don't really drink alcohol lately. Not drinking coffee. I'm feeling pretty good. Like, if you're feeling good, then you don't feel like doing anything like that because you're already feeling good. It's like, why would I smoke? Where do I want it to take me? I'm already relaxed. I'm already feeling good. I'm already fine. So I don't need any drug to take me to any place. I'm already comfortable with where I am. But the flavor of tobacco is insane. Yeah, okay. I could see smoking cigars for different flavors, I guess. But isn't the nicotine what gets you that, like, that high, quote unquote? I know it's not really like a high, but it's, nicotine's a chemical that has an effect on your brain. That's why cigarette smokers are so into it, right? It's because it's kind of like a performance enhancing drug. I think a lot of people don't think about it that way, but when cigarette smokers smoke a cigarette, it helps them kind of focus and, like, it affects the brain in a positive way. That's why people smoke. It's not just because they like fucking puffing on poison. What's your favorite Tatsuro Yamashita album? Mine is Cozy. Mine is the yellow one. I don't know what it's called, but if you type in his name on YouTube, the yellow album art, pretty good. New frames look good, says Andrew. Thanks, Andrew. What should we talk about here, guys? Give me a topic that I could just ramble on about. Give me a topic here. I guess I could just start rambling about anything. I guess it's up to me. I guess it's in my hands. But if I just randomly start getting deep into something that nobody asked about, nobody's interested in, it's like, well, what am I doing here? I'm just, playing with myself. I don't want to masturbate on camera in front of 25 people. Holy shit! We're at 25 viewers? Is that true? We're halfway to the goal, boys. Remember, we get to 50 viewers. We're going to crack open this Taiwanese 100-year-old duck egg that is pure black and green and strange fossilized looking amber. And I'm going to consume this fucking egg. And I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not going to mess around with this egg. I'm not going to put it in any holes or places where it shouldn't be placed besides my mouth, because I am earnest about my intentions about eating this egg. I will do it. That is not clickbait. It will happen. I will eat the egg and I will feel good. This is an ancient Chinese aphrodisiac. They eat one of these rotten 100-year-old eggs and then they have a good time. This is like nature's Viagra. Thoughts on the new Mr. Bungle album? That's an interesting question. You must be a very big supporter of the Code Provider channel. How do you know I'm a Mr. Bungle fan? I don't remember ever talking about that. Maybe I've mentioned it on previous streams and you just remember it. But yeah. When I first heard about the project, I was first of all happy that Mr. Bungle was coming back together, of course. But then I was kind of disappointed because my favorite stuff from Mr. Bungle is not that. It's not the fucking crazy ass hardcore heavy shit. I like the stuff that just feels unique. Like California is my favorite Bungle album. I just think it feels so perfect. It's so beautiful. The songs all sound different and unique, but they all fit with the sound. They all have that theme. I think it's such a beautifully put together album. It's really, really, really damn good. I think that's actually my favorite album ever. Period. That's the best album I've ever heard. So when they said they were remaking that, when I found out they were remaking that, I was like, well, okay. But then I got the live. They did an online live thing, and I put on my headphones and I fucking jammed out to that, and it was really good. I liked it a lot. I had a good time with it. It's not something I listen to very frequently, but it is really good. I do like it a lot, and I just hope they make more. I just hope they make more stuff. Dude, this is definitely like some spam link, right? But so many different random usernames have been posting this. Nobody go to that link. I don't know what it is. We gotta start banning people, I guess. Thoughts on will Armenia ever take back Artsakh? I don't know, man. Nobody really cares about history. Nobody really cares about truth. Nobody really cares about justice. People only care about their own comfort of their day-to-day lives. TikTok. So, as long as everybody has a fucking iPhone, and you can get an iPhone for like $100 now, they got really cheap, so anybody can basically have an iPhone. So everybody's pretty comfortable. We've got a pretty comfortable, what do you call it? Standard of living in the Western world, and also more and more so in other countries, like even India. They're getting internet everywhere. They're rapidly, developing. Same thing with China. Basically, nobody fucking cares, man. So they're rewriting history and nobody cares. It's really incredible though, because all it takes is for people to care, because the truth is so blatant and obvious. There are literal old Armenian writings and carvings and inscriptions and artifacts with Armenian writing, like Armenian lettering. It's uniquely Armenian. The Armenian alphabet is an ancient language. It's not shared by any other language. So it's obviously Armenian stuff. It's Armenian history. It's Armenian land. And then they literally call it fucking Albanian, and they say that Armenians only recently have put in those fake inscriptions to steal Caucasian Albanian artifacts. Like, what the fuck? And their country believes it, of course, because they are brainwashed from preschool, from kindergarten, to absolutely hate Armenians and to hate Armenia. So it's a completely brainwashed dictatorship. But on an international scale, nobody cares. So it's pretty depressing. But yeah, nobody fucking cares, so I don't know. I don't have high expectations. First, Armenia needs to get his shit together, get some money, and make some better alliances. And then maybe something can happen, maybe. But it doesn't seem likely. True, we could talk for so long about how there's no morals or empathy anymore. there was never any empathy. Like, nobody has ever cared about anybody else. It's bullshit, man. Like, nobody fucking cares. People just don't really care. People have been so demoralized that nobody, I think it's gotten to a point, like, America has been involved in wars constantly, and the news, it's just become commonplace, so commonplace in Western media, these coverage in the Middle East and things like that, that most people just don't want to know. Most people have completely tuned out, so they can continue to do whatever the fuck they want. Because, like, you know, before, back in, like, what, 2002, 2001, there were, like, huge protests, I don't know, you know, early 2000s, huge fucking protests of the war in Iraq, stuff like that. Like, where are the protests? I mean, some people are actually protesting against these corona restrictions and stuff. There are protests against the VAX and the different mandates in different countries around the world, so some people are actually standing up and trying to fight back against the recent dictatorial policies in various countries, but overall, people just don't care. I don't know. And Gold Ganesha says, do you care? I would say, yes, I do care. I would take the red pill, sir. I think the red pill, blue pill thing is it's a meme now, but I think it's also pretty kind of deep. It has a really deep meaning. The Matrix is really good. Really fucking good movie. What a perfect movie. Not the second one, not the third one, not this new one. Fuck it. First Matrix movie. That's all you need. But I think that it is a choice. It's not like a lot of people would say that people are ignorant, right? Oh, people are ignorant. They just don't know. If only somebody would tell them, right? But that's not the truth. The truth is that ignorance is a choice. Most people are actively choosing to take the blue pill because they just want to live their normal, comfortable lives, and they don't want to worry about anything outside of them. That's the Matrix. Most people are Cypher. They just want to eat the steak. Maybe everybody definitely has that part of them that's Cypher. And just wants to, like, not worry about anything and eat the steak. But the problem is that it's all gonna, like, it bubbles up and it's going to affect everybody. So if you don't care now, you're gonna have to care eventually when it comes to your neighborhood. That's what people don't understand. You did join in with British Armenians complaining about BBC's lack of coverage. That's pretty cool, Dan. You mean you, like, went out on the street? There was a protest at the BBC? That's really cool, man. There's nothing I can really do physically in Japan. Nobody even knows what Armenia is in Japan. And they're pretty big fans of Turkey, generally. But again, like we talked about this before, Japanese people have literally zero understanding of history besides, like, older Japanese history, because basically the government has no reason to lie about history that has very little connection to international affairs in the world today. So when it comes to the Tokugawa period and, you know, old Japanese history, it's so self-contained in Japan. There's no reason to really lie about it. But once we get to modern history, they just don't teach anything here. Like, nobody fucking knows anything. They literally don't know that Japan was massacring people in China, Manchuria, Southeast Asia. They don't fucking know why Japan was involved in World War II to begin with. They literally think that America got them to bomb Pearl Harbor, and then that's how they entered the war. Like, they don't understand that Japan was the aggressor that Japan was an imperialist power trying to expand and take over Asia, just like the Europeans did in South America. They don't get that. Like, they don't teach that. They literally teach that, oh no, Japan, poor small country, we got bombed by big America, you know? That's all they teach here. It's fucking amazing. So yeah, people don't give a shit about history or social justice or whatever the fuck. And by social justice, I don't mean, you know, SJWs. I mean, you know, actual justice. That's what I meant. I forgot I was subscribed to you, but the YouTube gods just decided I should watch this. Alright, welcome, Colossal Breaker. What's up, Fallback Squad? I guess this is a really pessimistic way of looking at shit, but I really don't know what the average citizen can do to change things outside of the US. Or I could just be a dumbass, who knows, but it really feels like speaking out is just a waste of breath sometimes. Yeah, but that's how they want you to feel. Basically. They want us to feel powerless. But the reality is there's more of us than there are of them. So if more people simply raised awareness and simply spread the message, and more people did care, and people did take a stand, and people did go out there, and people, you know, actually took a stand against issues that matter, then they wouldn't be able to keep getting away with what they get away with. And I'm not just talking about Armenia, I'm talking about everything, man. Like Israel, Palestine. What happened to that? Some people cared. I remember, like, when I was in university, they even talked about it at university, which is super shocking to me. A government, because I went to a state school, a government-funded university was actually like, my teachers were pretty pro-Palestine, which is fucking shocking. But what happened to that? Nobody cares anymore, you know? Nobody cares. Like, people, I think, even going back just, like, 10 years ago, people actually fucking cared. People don't care anymore. Well, I don't know, man. People never really cared that much. Like, what about 9/11? You know? Like, people have stopped really trying when it comes to 9/11. I should probably close that window, huh? Really bad light coming from behind me. But, like, if you can get away with 9/11 and you can get Americans to stop caring about 9/11, then you can get away with anything. You realize that? Like, that's what I always think of when I think of Armenia, Azerbaijan. Is like, why would I expect justice in this situation when we haven't even gotten justice when it comes to the biggest event, the biggest violent attack on the most important city in the biggest, strongest country in the world? If they got away with that, they can get away with anything. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. They make you feel powerless. It's really funny. Reading the Unit 731 Wikipedia article on Wikipedia, Japan is fascinating. That's one way to put it. Japan is fascinating, huh? You're reading about 731, you think Japan is fascinating. It's really funny. Yeah, man. Japan Japan is fascinating, man. The way they just kidnapped innocent Chinese people and cut open their pregnant stomachs while they were alive. Very fascinating country. You're right, though. Japan is fascinating, that's for sure. I think most Japanese would have an existential crisis if they taught that stuff. Well, every country's education system isn't actually built for education. It's to mold and craft society in, you know, the kind of society that the country wants. Where in the US you have a focus on satisfying your own desires, basically. They teach you that you're special, you gotta follow your dreams, the American dream and all that shit. You gotta go after it, and, you know, it creates this kind of like consumeristic, materialistic, selfish society, I think. Where Japan is a complete opposite. They have a more collectivist outlook, and that comes from the education system, where they want everybody to be the same. They treat everybody the same. There's a big like social hierarchy where the teachers are looking down on. I mean, the teachers are in a much higher position than the students, and the students don't feel confident to even express their opinion or answer back in any way, and they're supposed to just take what the teacher says as fact and move on with their day. So in America, they always encourage you to ask questions, even though most of the time maybe the teacher just wants you to ask a specific question so they can continue with their lesson. They really lead up with the questions. Like, most teachers in high school didn't actually want you to think for yourself and actually ask interesting questions. They might just shut you down if you did. But at least in America, we had that idea that you should think and you should ask questions and you should have your own opinion. In Japan, they don't feel like they should express their own opinion at all. Most people don't. Most people just go along with the crowd, and that can be on a bigger scale like politics, or it could just be in a small friendly group setting. People won't even say what they want to fucking eat for dinner. They'll just go along with what the group wants to do. Anyway, but that's just a different in culture, and I think that comes from the education system. And so, what does that mean? The Japanese government just wants to create that kind of obedient worker that doesn't question and just goes along with the crowd. That's what they've created. So, teaching unnecessary negative history is not really on their doesn't fit in with the agenda. Not that America teaches history accurately either. Everything they fucking teach is a lie. I'm assuming in every fucking country. Ugh. Yeah, Ruben says history is written from winners. Yeah, history is written by the winners. Everybody understands this. Everybody knows that phrase. Everybody understands that phrase, right? Yet nobody questions history. Everybody gets that history is written by the winners, but still they look at you like a fucking crazy maniac if you question history. Isn't that fucking stupid? Do you regret moving to Japan? Hi, by the way. No, I don't. Why would I regret living in Japan? I really enjoy my life here. Zero regrets. No regrets. Why is this top chat? I want to see all the chat. Live chat. Sorry if I missed some of your messages. It was filtering. It was auto filtering. Get a tissue here. What's going to happen to your manga collection? Is your brother going to take all of it now? What do you mean take all of it? Where's he gonna take it? He's just gonna take all his books and stick them in his car and just go drive off somewhere? Is your brother gonna take all of it now? I'm down to sell the manga. If there's any manga I have and you're interested in buying it, then send me a DM on Discord and I will sell you some manga. I don't care about my English collection. There are a few things that I will keep and I don't want to sell that people have actually sent me, like the English version of Panorama of Hell. A fan sent me that book, and that is, I will forever be appreciative of that, so I'm not going to sell that kind of stuff, but most of the stuff I have in America, I would be down to sell in a big lot. So if you wanted to buy a lot of my manga, you could totally do that. You could set something up. So if you're interested in that, you can go watch that manga collection video. It is up. And send me a message. Did you get that 100,000 yen free from Japanese government? Yeah, I got that. It's for all residents of Japan, so I did receive that. Code, do you think you're a good artist, and how much of art do you think is natural talent? I think I'm a good artist, yeah. I think I have a sense for it. I think I have, you could say I have natural ability to draw, but I don't know how much of that is natural talent, because my parents are both artists. Like, you can actually see up there, I have my dad's drawing he sent me for Christmas. He drew those sumo wrestlers up there. I have a few of my dad's art and my mom's art actually here. But my parents are both artists. So you could say, oh, it's genetic. I'm just naturally good at drawing. But is it genetic, or is it because since I was a kid, I have been drawing? Because my parents are artists. Like, I had more pencils and pens and paints and watercolors and art materials growing up since I was like 2 or 3 years old than toys. Like, I've always been drawing. I've been drawing all my life. So, is that natural talent? Or is that just a lot of hours of practice from a very young age? So I don't know. I'm gonna click this link here. Hold on. Oh wow, huh. Yeah, I've never seen this protest. That's really cool, man. That's really cool that you went to this. Thanks for your support. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that protest. So how did you get your residence? I got a job. After you get a job, you can become a resident. You need a company to sponsor your residence. Do they do art as a career or spare time? Somewhat. It's not completely full-time artists, but somewhat. I mean like professional level artists though. I don't mean just like, you know, our modern interpretations of art, you know, like classically, you know, trained, like actual really skilled artists. I'm gonna fucking start blocking people who are spamming this fucking link. It's really weird, man. Does this happen to every streamer? Like, who are these fucking Russian accounts? There's Russian accounts popping in and just spamming links. Like, fuck you. Get out of here. Blets. Suka blets. You're in Japan. Have you tried making your own manga? I actually talked to recently, so this is something to look out for. I have the footage of this, and I just am not editing it because I'm lazy and I don't want to sit through and edit it because it's going to take me like 4 hours to edit. And I know it's going to take me 4 hours to edit, and I don't want to spend 4 hours to edit it right now. But I recorded a video. I can get the book, actually. So I got like 100 volumes of X alternative manga magazine, and one of my favorite artists in the X magazine that immediately stood out to me is this guy who made this character in this series. His name is Michael Madadi, and he is from England. He's British, and now he's living in Japan, and he's a regular featured artist in Axe. He writes for Axe every month, and I picked up his book here. He released a tankobon volume, so this is a compilation of his stuff from Axe. I've already read them all because I have all the Axe volumes, but I wanted to support the artist, so I picked up his tankobon here. It's really convenient to have all of his stuff in one book as well, because I normally have this little little note paper where if I read an interesting story that I want to go back to in Axe or Gato, I can easily go back to it. So now I can just, whenever I want to read his stuff, it's all in here, or mostly in here, so I don't have to reference my little notes. Anyway, point being, British artist working in Japan, living in Japan, making manga. And he's successful, he's doing great, and I thought, man, I want to talk to this guy. And I did talk to this guy, and I did a podcast with this guy, and I think it'll be a really interesting podcast to listen to if you're interested in writing manga in Japan, you know. And we did talk about that question, writing manga in Japan. So I think that'll be really interesting for you guys to listen to. I'll do my best to edit it and get it up. It's gonna be really good. It is exclusive shit, man. It is exclusive shit. Like, who else out there do you know who's reading Axe alternative manga in Japan and then finding these guys to talk to, you know? Really cool guy, though. I really enjoy talking to him a lot. Maybe that's why I haven't edited the podcast, is because I already feel satisfied from the interaction. Like, I had a really good conversation with a guy, and I'm like, yeah, that was great. I don't feel like I need to do anything further with it. Like, I don't necessarily want to try to make something out of it. It's like it was already great. I already had a good experience. Anyway, I should edit that and get that together. But it's going to be a really good podcast. But yeah, he's great. Really cool, hilarious stuff, hilarious stories, great, unique art style. He shows you that you don't need to try to emulate that mainstream shonen artwork to be successful as a manga artist in Japan. You can just have your own style. There isn't a manga style of artwork. You know, like, people have this idea that, oh, American comics look a certain way, manga looks a certain way. It's not true. This is what you gotta. I really recommend this type of alternative shit, the Gekiga stuff, alternative manga. You can find some Gekiga, like, check out Archangel Manga, uploaded a manga collection recently, and he has a whole collection of Gekiga manga, and a lot of the tankobon volumes, like the single volume releases that they've translated recently to English, are originally from Axe and Gato, alternative manga magazines. So some of this stuff is available in English, so definitely check them out. Like, for example, this guy that they're advertising on the back of this book, Yoshikazu Ebisu. He's a really funny manga artist. He's really famous in Japan, actually, even though he writes a lot of really fucked up shit. Like, he's on TV and stuff, and he's like really famous, you know. I guess most people don't read his manga because if you read his manga, you're like, wow, this guy's really fucked up. Anyway, that's just a little sneak preview for the podcast that I have coming up. I should probably edit that, huh? So we have broken 30 viewers. We're at 32 viewers. We're so close, guys. Don't forget, I'm hungry. All I've had for breakfast is some kefir here. So I'm actually foaming at the mouth right now to eat this egg. I'm hungry. I want to eat the egg. I want to eat the egg. We are so close, baby. We are so close. What manga do you read these days? I just showed you. And also I'm reading Fable, The Fable, or in Japanese, Zafaburu, which is pretty fun. And Ashita no Joe I'm also reading. What would you recommend as a start for learning Japanese? I would recommend not learning Japanese. I would not recommend learning Japanese. Most people do not have the willpower, determination to commit that much time to actually learn the language. So you might just be wasting your time if you half-ass it. If you half-ass it, you're just going to be wasting your time. You have to put in a lot of time, and then it won't be a waste of time. Ever read JoJo? Yeah, I remember I read part 1 a long time ago, and then I stopped. I started watching part 2, and I think the anime is really great. The anime. Anime is really good. Yeah, it's really good. It's really funny. I love part 2. Think you'll make any more clothing designs? Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on some designs. I do want to put out like 5 designs at the same time, like a new line of clothes. I don't want to just put up 1. I want to put up 5. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make 5 designs and put them up. In the meantime, you can get the existing designs, which are still hot fire. Holy fucking shit. Dan the man. Jesus Christ. 30 pounds. Just eat the goddamn egg. How can I say no? The time has come. We're gonna eat the goddamn egg. Thank you, Dan. We're gonna eat the fucking egg. It's egg time, baby. Damn. We're gonna eat the goddamn egg. Let's do it. That's what I was waiting for. I'm actually really hungry. I just want to eat the egg. I want to eat the egg. That's what I want to do. I've seen like on YouTube people try this, and apparently they try it just like straight up, and then they kind of like puke, like they can't stomach it. And so in China and Taiwan, when they eat this egg, they eat it with tofu, they eat it with like rice, congee, they eat it with like, you know, they eat it with something, and it's like dispersed throughout the meal. They don't just eat it in one go straight up. So this is not going to be the best way to eat this. But I don't eat rice right now, and I definitely don't eat tofu. So we are going to eat it straight up. And I think that's what we're going to do. So this is what it looks like here. Look at that. It's a duck egg. It's been aged for several months. I've never tried this before in my life. I actually have never noticed it at the supermarket until yesterday. I just noticed it and I thought, wow, okay, I guess I gotta try that. That's perfect for a stream. That's exactly what I thought. So that's what we're doing now. You guys gotta say thank you to Dan. Everybody press F in the chat. To pay respects to, or put a D in the chat. I don't know. Pay your respects. Just got you some fucking content. Alright. I'm gonna get a little... What am I supposed to do? Get a little plate. Alright. We got a little plate here. Very nice handmade ceramic Japanese plate here. I like that stuff. I like ceramics. I like nice looking plates. I want to get more nice plates actually, because I have a lot of like dollar store plates that are very plain, but I think your food just tastes better when you have nice plates. I like plates. I like nice plates. All right. We're going to crack open the egg. I'm really bad at peeling eggs, by the way. I'm very bad at it, so we'll see how this goes. Give it a crack. It is cracked. I don't know if you can see that. It is cracked. Right there. Whoa! I felt something wobble inside. This is a little bit scary. Oh! Whoa, look at that. Oh man, I wasn't messing around, guys. It is black. It is a black egg. It smells good. It smells good. I guess they do age it in like a saline solution. So it just smells kind of like clean and salty. Huh. Smells kind of clean and salty. Are some of you guys sheep people? Alright. Would How To Basic approve of this? I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. How long have you been streaming? I've been streaming for 58 minutes and 16 seconds, 17, 18 seconds, 19 seconds, 20 seconds. Eat it. I am gonna eat it. They are sulfury as hell. Oh, really? Interesting. You've tried this before? They're sulfury as hell. I didn't think anybody in the chat would have actually tried this before. Smells, yeah, it kind of smells really sulfury. Huh. Smells like an onsen, kind of. I'm not very good at peeling eggs, so bear with me. It is taking me some time. It's not my forte. I never boil eggs. I never do it because I fucking hate peeling them. I will never eat a fucking boiled egg in my life unless somebody peels it for me. I hate peeling potatoes too. I never cook potatoes unless my girlfriend is over and I tell her to peel the potatoes. I'm not even exaggerating. I do make people peel potatoes. And carrots. I hate peeling. Carrots are not so bad to peel. I hate peeling things in general though, so I always make women do it. And they oblige because I'm a good cook. So they're always willing to help out. Help out in the... Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm trying to slide it out. Ooh. This is not looking great. This is not looking great, man. I will admit. This is looking like it's something that is not food. This is not looking like food. Oh, a piece of it fell off onto my chair. That's gross. Oh man, I gotta change the title of the stream now. I gotta change the title of the stream. We're doing it. God damn it. Now I gotta think of another title for the stream. Or I could just end the stream, I guess, after I eat this fucking egg. What's another title I could use for the stream after I eat this egg? I guess I could call it Disgusting Asian Food Taste Test. Tasting Asian Delicacies Live. 100-year-old egg. Does that work? Is that a good title? Alright. Was your girlfriend that girl from the gotcha video? I cannot confirm or deny. Century egg aftermath. Century egg aftermath. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I can't call it that right now because I have not eaten the egg yet, but I will. Alright. I guess we should cut it open first. I'm not just going to bite it. Do you want me to just bite it? I want to cut it open. I want to take a look at it. she made him delete some old videos and they broke up long time. She never made me delete the old videos. I just did it out of respect because she wanted me to delete the videos. Alright. She didn't make me do it. I just didn't want to deal with it, so I deleted them. Ooh yeah. Ooh. Ugh. Oh no. It's still creamy. It's still incredibly creamy. It's like it's like Nutella consistency. It looks like Nutella. Oh man. I did not expect. I thought it would be hard, like a hard-boiled egg. It's creamy. Like some kind of nut butter. Oh man, look at that. Do you see, can you see that? It's like very shiny, reflective, and that yolk is this like grotesque looking nut butter. Let me take a smell. It doesn't actually smell that bad. It just smells like, just like chat said here, just like sulfur. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a big hit of sulfur, which I think I can handle. I think I can handle that. Do we just eat the half egg, or do I go for like a fourth? I guess I'll go for a fourth. I'll go for a fourth. Alright. Here we go. I'm doing it. Century egg, all thanks to Dan. Cheers. Dude, like I've seen Americans and like different people on YouTube try it, and they freak out. They're like, it's disgusting. They start going crazy. That was just like, that was pretty good. Not gonna lie here. That was pretty good. That's just like a pretty good food. Sorry for the. I guess that's a little anticlimactic. That was just pretty good. It was pretty good, man. Not gonna lie. I got a little bit on my fingers now. Huh. That was pretty good. Holy shit, I haven't seen this chat in years. What's up, Malcolm Jones? We are currently eating a 100-year-old Chinese egg from Taiwan. And it's pretty good. I kind of want to put a little mustard on it. Is that cheating? I think it would be good with mustard. Is that cheating? Is that cheating, Dan? Can I put a little mustard on this? I think I'm going to try with a little mustard. Not all of it, but I want to put a little drop of mustard. Something tells me it's going to be really good with mustard. Just a feeling I have. Just a little drop of mustard, not much. There we go. Alright, so here we go. That is century egg, a little drop of mustard down the hatch. Oh man. Oh yeah. I'm a culinary genius. That is amazing. That's delicious. That's really good. Hot dogs and mustard, forget about it. 100-year-old egg plus mustard. That is so good, man. That is insanely good. That is really good. What the hell? Wow. I should have eaten this egg a lot earlier. Thanks to Dan for allowing me to eat this egg for breakfast. This is delicious. This is really good. Damn, man. I don't know what those Taiwanese do to these eggs, but it's pretty fucking good. Not gonna lie. That's a win. Yeah, pretty big win. Fuck, maybe I should buy one. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna just do a little bit more mustard. I really like the combination of the mustard. If you think that's cheating, I apologize, but it's pretty good. I'm gonna enjoy my food here. Put a little drop of mustard here. Just a little drop. Just a little drop of mustard. There we go. You can check it out. Now we're doing the whole half egg. A little drop of mustard. Alright, here we go. That's just really good. That's really good. That's fantastic. Wow. That's a really strong taste though. Like I feel it like coating the inside of my mouth. It's like completely covering the inside of my mouth. Huh. Yeah, it is really creamy though. It is a pleasant texture. It's not unpleasant. That's really good. I'm sure it'll be way better inside some sort of a soup, like a congee, how the Chinese eat it. I'm sure I can imagine that would be really, really good because then you have the flavor of the egg kind of spread throughout the soup and everything. Yeah, man, that was pretty good. Shouts out to Dan. Thanks a lot, man. That was really good. It's the first time I've ever tried one of those eggs. It's pretty fucking good. That was good, man. Like I had no adverse reaction whatsoever. That's just pretty good. I don't know what to say. There's nothing else I could say about that. What does it taste like? It's really hard to pinpoint. It has that sulfury taste, a little bit of a sulfury taste, but it's not too strong. It's salty, a little salty, because they aged it in like a saline mixture, so the salt penetrates. It's got some umami. It's real creamy. Kind of sticks around your mouth, kind of like a nut butter. And it's eggy. That's what it tastes like. It's my best description, I guess. Do you miss New York bagels or pastrami? The only 3 decent places we have in the UK are Bagel Bake, the yellow one next door to Bagel Bake and Rubens. The best pastrami sandwich, as far as I know, in New York is at Cat's Deli. I've only tried it once. And actually, I didn't even try it in New York. I tried it in California. In LA, in downtown LA, they have a central market with a bunch of different food stalls and stuff, and they had Cat's Deli there, and I tried it. And I like the texture of the meat. It's obviously like really good. It falls apart in your mouth. It's very soft. It's you know, slow cooked. But the taste of the meat is not really my thing, pastrami. It just tastes like hot dog. It literally tastes identical to a hot dog. So I definitely much prefer like American barbecue, like brisket, Texas style or whatever is way better than any New York pastrami. So I don't miss that. I do miss American barbecue though. I miss going to New York and getting some like nice slow cooked smoked meat. That's what I miss the most about American food. You miss Mike and Patty's. Yo, Mike and Patty's. You reminded me. I used to go there with Ibrahim. I don't know if you remember, I made a couple of videos with this Japanese friend I had in university. He was half Palestinian, half Japanese, but his dad lived in Saudi Arabia, and so he went to Saudi Arabia on some like internship thing, and when he came back, he wasn't friends with me anymore. He like ghosted me. So I don't know what the fuck happened to him in Saudi Arabia. Maybe he became like a radicalized Islamist fighter or something, because he like completely went cold. But when we were friends, we used to drive to Mike and Patty's in Boston before we went to universities together, and we used to get breakfast there. It was fucking amazing. They have the best breakfast in Boston. So, yeah. Respect, Mike and Patty's. Mike and Patty's all day. Pastrami tastes like a hot dog, blasphemy. Yeah, pastrami tastes like a hot dog, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Pastrami tastes like hot dog. Why are you Jewish? I'm not Jewish. I think Jewish food actually sucks. Like, Jewish food is pretty bad. Like matzo ball soup. like, matzo ball soup is pretty bad, man. Yeah, I don't like Jewish food. Splurge a bit and get some Wagyu 8.5 to eat on stream. I splurge a bit when it comes to food pretty much all the time. Like, this milk I'm drinking right now is extremely expensive. It's like $80 a gallon. Like, literally $80 a gallon. Because it's raw. And there's only one farm in Japan that sells raw milk. Literally one farm. So that's why it's so expensive. And they deliver it to me. So all those factors together make it very expensive for me to get. And I do get Wagyu all the time. I only eat Wagyu. I don't eat any other meat. Like, that's the beef I eat. I eat Wagyu. I had Wagyu yesterday. You guys realize that Wagyu just means Japanese beef. Like, in Japanese, that kanji for wa, means Japanese. Like, washoku means Japanese food. Washi means Japanese paper. So Wagyu is just Japanese beef. So I eat local beef. It's not the crazy, super fatty, marbled Wagyu that you're thinking of, but it's really high quality local beef. Raw milk, what makes it raw? It's just not processed. They don't process it. They don't pasteurize it. All the bacteria and everything are in the milk. That's what I want. When you cook milk and you pasteurize it, you're killing off all the bacteria and the enzymes, and you're denaturing the proteins, and you're turning one of the healthiest foods in the world into a very unhealthy food. So if you can get raw milk, you should probably try it. Seems like it's pretty good for us. And lactose intolerance actually comes from pasteurizing the milk. There's no such thing as lactose intolerance with raw milk. Nobody's actually lactose intolerant. We have lactose intolerance because of the unnatural process of pasteurizing, which changes the proteins and makes them, not sit well in our stomachs. Anyway. Sheesh, my boy is eating good. Yeah, I've been focusing on that. I've explained it before. I explained it in the first stream I did 2 days ago, but because I had this tonsillitis problem, I started getting really down the rabbit hole of health. I've tried the ketogenic diet. I've tried the carnivore diet. And now I went balls deep, and I'm doing mostly raw primal. With some, basically raw primal. And I'm feeling the best that I've felt in a long time, actually, recently. Couldn't you eat Greek yogurt for the same effect? I think the problem with yogurt is that they cook it. Like, generally, they take the raw milk, they heat it up to a certain temperature before they add the bacteria to turn it into yogurt. So I'm pretty sure even if yogurt says they use raw milk to make the yogurt, I'm pretty sure it's not actually raw. I do have some butter, though, which you can definitely eat for the same effect. But really good quality raw butter is very expensive as well. Like, I got this for the first time as a treat for myself. I got this yesterday for the first time. And this is incredible. Like, I couldn't actually imagine, I couldn't fathom how insane this is. But it's insane. This butter, when I tried it yesterday, I felt like a high. It was so good. This is local, pure, fresh, raw butter. The taste is incredible. It's almost floral. Like, it opens up in your mouth into like a million different flavors. This was so fucking good. But anyway, definitely should read up on milk, and nutrition in general is something that most people don't care enough about, I think, and it's better early than late so you don't run into health problems from eating too much junk food, eating too many carbs. Have you ever caught up or talked to Jess the vegan? I hope she's doing okay, man. I haven't talked to her much. She got really turned off from our Discord because our Discord got really like misogynistic, I think. There was a lot of like just anti-woman incel shit going on in the Discord, and she left. Um, yeah, so I haven't talked to her in a long time. I hope she's not vegan because I think veganism actually kills you. It's not a sustainable lifestyle. There is no such thing as a healthy vegan in the world. If you go long enough time, right? It's been a while now. The last time I saw Jess was what? We met up and we did one live stream. That was like 4 years ago. So if she was vegan for the past 4 years, she must be fucked up. That's a long time to be vegan. So I hope she at least started eating some milk, some eggs. Yeah, I wish her the best. She's a nice girl. I haven't talked to her lately though. Maybe we should catch up with Jess. I think she wouldn't like me very much anymore now because I'm eating a nearly 100% animal-based diet. So probably wouldn't get along with me. I used to think that veganism was probably healthy though. Like because of the brainwashing is so mainstream and it's so deep. Like we grow up thinking that vegetables are healthy and we shouldn't eat meat too often. But it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. The food pyramid literally should be turned upside down. It's crazy. Really weird. Well, it's not, I mean, anyway. Holy damn, haven't watched your vids in so long, dude. Hope you're doing well, man. Missed that One Piece content. Thanks, bro. Maybe I'll do some more One Piece content. They actually opened up a Shonen Jump merchandise store in my town. And I walked by it, and let me tell you, I had zero interest in checking it out. So that's how far I've come. They literally have a special Shonen Jump merchandise store. I was there. I happened to be there. I happened to see it. I literally did not even enter. That's how little interest I have now. I'm very sorry to inform you. But that might have made a cool video. I should probably carry around my GoPro just all the time. So if I see something like that, I could just make a video on it. That's probably a good idea. I should have my GoPro on me all the time. I should definitely be doing that. Huh. Yeah, all this stuff about red meat too. Yeah, it's really weird, man. People, I think the average person thinks red meat is bad for you and causes cancer. Like, the average person actually believes that. I think that's true. I think most people believe that. Probably upwards of 90% of people think red meat is bad for you, vegetables are good for you, where, you know, throughout most of human evolution we were eating a majority red meat diet, so... Afghans and Pakistani mostly eat a lot of meat, and they're not that healthy. That could be due to many factors, though, Dan. First of all, they probably eat a lot of cooked meat. So cooking the meat, and I think in that part of the world, they generally cook the meat well done. I don't think they eat the meat medium rare. So eating meat well done is the absolute worst way you could possibly eat meat, and it turns it into an unhealthy food. Like, when they say that stuff about red meat, they're mostly talking about, and when you see those statistics about red meat and cancer and stuff, it's mostly processed meats, overly cooked meats. If you eat meat raw or rare, or even medium rare, it's totally different than eating meat burnt to a crisp, cooked well done. I'm pretty sure in the Middle East, they mostly eat well done meat. So it's not exactly comparable to what I'm trying to do. You think inbreeding is a problem, more the problem that they have. That's you know, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm going to let the jury, jury's out on that one. You think maybe inbreeding is not so bad, guys? Maybe we ought to just be nicer to the inbred people. Too much of anything is unhealthy. I disagree with that. If something is just really good for you, then why would it be bad for you to eat too much of it? Like, I don't know. Like, well, I guess like the term too much implies that it's not good, right? That's what too much means. But I think it's a lot easier to have too much of certain things compared to other things. Like, it's pretty hard to eat too much meat. It's pretty easy to eat too much cinnamon. It's pretty easy to eat too much garlic. It's pretty easy to, etc., etc. But whatever, I'm not a fucking health guru here. I'm just telling you that I'm telling you where I am at in my journey. I'm not necessarily recommending this to anybody. I do recommend looking into it yourself. My understanding is that our bodies have not changed that much. Our society has evolved much faster than our bodies, so our bodies are still best suited for eating ancestral foods, what we've been eating for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. And what separates human beings from other primates is our consumption of meat. Even evolutionarily speaking, if you look at our eyes compared to other monkeys' eyes, their whites of their eyes are black. Why do we have whites in our eyes? Scientists think that it's evolutionarily it's because of hunting for meat, and it's because for monkeys they have black around their eyes because it makes it more difficult for other monkeys to see where they're looking. So it's not advantageous for them because they're very like competitive and they're not hunters. They're just But for humans, because we're hunting, it was actually more beneficial to be able to see which direction we're looking by having whites on our eyes. So having the whites helps us cooperate and hunt, and that made us who we are today, is hunting and eating meat. So if for most of human history we've been eating mostly meat, why now would it suddenly be unhealthy to eat meat, and would it be healthy to eat vegetables? It doesn't really make sense, because most of the vegetables, or all the vegetables that we eat today, have been cultivated by man over the past couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand of years, but they're not naturally occurring. So go back far enough and it would have been impossible to eat a vegan diet or vegetarian diet or plant-based diet at all. It's a very, very recent thing if you look at the entire history of humanity. Anyway, I could go on and on about that, but I'm not an expert. I just, that just makes sense to me. That's what I'm... Oh man, these fucking spammers are starting to piss me off. A few of you guys have admin here. If you wanna hide these users who keep posting spam links, that'll be cool. Right on time for legit content. It's always legit content, bro, but you missed the 100-year-old egg. We did eat the 100-year-old egg. It did happen. Thanks to Dan. I've got high blood pressure after years of eating too much meat and salt, and changing to mostly vegetarian has helped massively. I no longer need to take medication anymore. That's really interesting, Dan. I don't know. I don't know your exact situation, and it's good that you don't need to take medication anymore. Salt is definitely toxic, so definitely eating too much salt raises blood pressure. Definitely eating too much cooked or processed meat raises blood pressure. But I think if you ate more raw meat or raw dairy, raw eggs, you'd probably feel fine. I don't think it would affect your blood pressure the same way as a cooked meat and high salt diet would have affected it. And also you're probably eating high carb too. Like when you eat meat, you were eating like rice or something too with it, right? Like I'm not eating any rice, I'm not eating any bread, I'm not eating any carbs, so it's not in a vacuum. Eating meat is not the singular factor, But whatever works for you. If you feel happy and healthy eating mostly vegetables, that's great. Definitely support that. But if you start feeling bad, I would experiment with something else, that's all. Did the egg give you superpowers, Code? I actually feel pretty good after eating that egg, yeah. It may have given me superpowers. I am going to eat some butter now. This butter is really damn good. I'm never going to use this for cooking or anything. It's just, I want to eat it like pudding. This is amazing butter. There we go. Nice spoon of butter there. Amazing. So good. So good. This is insane. Unfortunately, I still taste the fucking 100-year-old egg in my mouth. It's messing with messing with the taste of the butter, but still really good. How are you so freaking thin? You don't gain weight if you don't eat carbs. Carbs are what make you gain weight. I can eat this much butter or more every day, and I'm not gonna get fat, man. What are some raw meat meals you suggest? Tartare. I usually eat tartare with muscle meat. You just cut the meat pretty thin. You mix it with egg yolks. You can melt some butter on top of it. That's what I did yesterday, and it's amazing. Is brisket hard to come by in Japan? Yeah, beef is generally the hardest. Like, it's the most expensive. Beef is crazy expensive here. So I don't actually eat a lot of beef. I like beef. I like beef the most. I eat a lot of beef heart because the heart is very cheap in comparison, and it has the same nutrition or better. It has more nutrition even than regular muscle meat because it is a muscle, but it's also an organ. So it's got a lot of power packed into the heart. I just eat the heart sashimi. I just fucking slice it and eat it. Like, you don't have to make a dish. You don't have to make a recipe. You just fucking eat it. It's good. And I eat a lot of liver, beef liver, because that's also cheap and it's really healthy. Beef muscle meat, I don't eat too much of because it's just more expensive than fish. I eat a lot of fish. I eat a lot of fish, a lot of raw fish, because that's the easiest thing to find in Japan. I ate raw octopus head yesterday and like 2 different types of fish, 3 different types of fish, a lot of fish. You're lucky you live in a sanitary place like Japan. Like, I don't know what you mean. It's pretty much the same anywhere, right? Like, I think people have this idea of Japan as being a lot like cleaner and a lot better than other places, but is that really true? I don't know. I think that people just freak out about sanitation too much to begin with, and they do that in Japan too, like with the hand sanitizer. The hand sanitizer is everywhere here. Everybody's wearing masks all the time. Like, you don't have to be that scared about dirt. You don't have to be that scared about being perfectly clean all the time. It's just not that serious, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Japan, so I'm eating more raw fish, right? You gotta adjust your diet to be locally based, I think. Like, you don't want to be eating a ton of imported food that's been frozen in other countries. Like, I've had fucking New Zealand frozen lamb in my freezer for so long just because, like, in case of emergency, like, I might have to eat that on New Year's Day because they close down all the shops and stuff on New Year's and I won't be able to buy fresh meat. So that's cool, Dan. I don't know. Like, if it's working for you and you feel healthy and you feel happy, you feel good, like, I'm not going to tell you to do anything different, right? If it stops feeling good and if you feel bad, like if you feel unhealthy, then I can share where I'm getting my information and shit if you want. If you want some ideas on a different way of eating, you know? But I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. So if you're happy with how you're eating and you feel good, then that's perfectly fine, you know? It's whatever. Point being, I think eating locally is great. You should try to eat locally. So if you live in the middle of the country in America and you don't have access to an ocean, you probably shouldn't be eating so much fish. You shouldn't force yourself to eat fish, you know? Because it's frozen and it's flown over to you. It's just not great. So you should be eating more beef. You should be eating more dairy, more eggs. I live in Japan. Beef is really expensive. Fish is pretty cheap. Fish has lots of variety. I can get fucking, like, literally 2 minutes from my house is a fish market. I can literally walk. I walk over there every day. I get whatever they have that looks good. I eat raw squid. I eat raw octopus fucking head. I eat raw fish eggs. I eat I eat everything. Because they have that available. It's readily available here. So because it's readily available and it's reasonably priced, that's what I go for. How often do you say fuck it and crush some chips? Literally never. Because I feel perfectly satisfied. What I do is I eat fruit sometimes because I don't drink that much water. So the fruit is very hydrating and I get some sugar. But that's about it. I'm gonna go get some grapefruits, actually, really good drink. And like coconut water, I drank a bunch of coconut water. I don't have any left. I kind of want to buy more coconut water. I like coconut water a lot. Do you use condoms? No. Not at the moment. But I'm not trying to have kids. Why did you move to Japan? Japanese condoms don't really work either. Like, I'm just gonna, they're too small, man. Even the fucking L size in Japan, the large size in Japan, it's too fucking small. So I have to get the XL size, and the XL size is, they don't make the high quality condoms in the XL size. The only XL condom in Japan is really shit quality and it feels terrible. So they have, the L size is a really good quality and it feels good, but it's too small and tight, so it fucking breaks, like it pops. So what's the point of using it at all? Like, it literally fucking pops. I've broken like 3 or 4 fucking condoms in Japan. They don't have big penises in this country, alright? If you have a big penis, you should bring condoms from home. I'm not joking. This is a serious thing. You should bring your own condoms. They do not have big condoms in Japan. I've heard fruit and vegetables are super expensive in Japan. Fruit is really expensive. Vegetables are really, really, really dirt cheap. Vegetables are incredibly cheap. Like, you can get a head of cabbage 3 times the size of my head for $1. And that's what people do. And people are convinced that cabbage is healthy. So they think, wow, cool, the healthiest food is the cheapest food. But that's not how it works, buddy. That's not how it fucking works. You don't have a single processed snack that you like? Of course I like potato chips, but I got to a point where every night I came home from work and I was eating potato chips and drinking beer. Like, I wasn't feeling good in general. And I was drinking coffee. I was just not feeling good, so I was resorting to snacks. Like, I was going to snacks. I think that we are compelled to snack on junk food, compelled to drink alcohol, compelled to drink caffeine, compelled to go towards these things that are bad for us when we are already in a unhealthy state of being. If you are eating really good stuff and you feel really good generally all the time, then you don't feel compelled to snack. Like, my girlfriend actually gave me a macaroon yesterday, and I was so, like, I was really annoyed at that situation because, like, I have to eat it because she gave it to me as a present, and macaroons are fucking expensive. It was like $3 for one little cookie. And I thought, okay, it's just a small little cookie. I guess I'll eat it, whatever. But it was so fucking sweet. I couldn't believe how much sugar was in there. And it made me feel terrible. Like, because I feel good, when I ate that shit, I felt it made me feel bad immediately. If you're already eating shit on a daily basis and your diet is based on sugar, then it's very easy for you to eat more and more sugar. It's very easy to go to snacks. It's very easy to go down that road, I think. But I literally don't feel compelled to eat a snack. I don't want to. Potato chips don't sound good for me right now. I don't want potato chips. I want fucking raw fish. I'm about to go to the fish market after this stream. I'm gonna go get some fucking oysters, go get some clams, go get some fish. Like, you don't understand. Like, I don't want a snack. I don't want snacks. The only snack I might eat is, like, dried fish. That's what I ate on the stream yesterday. Or 2 days ago. Malaysia produces most of the world's condoms, so it shouldn't be that hard to find some in Japan. That's interesting. Because Malaysia has a pretty high Muslim population, right? It's pretty interesting how they have, they produce the most condoms. That's funny. Yeah, we already ate the 100-year-old egg. So, sorry about that. I could eat another one, but I already reacted to the first one, so it's kind of pointless to eat another one. Do you plan on going back to the US soon? I can't go back to the US, I think, because I am not, you know, the VAX. I have not taken anything like that. So I don't think I'll be allowed to go back, and then maybe I'll have to do like a negative test. But anyway, it's too much of a hassle, so I'm definitely not going back to the US under these circumstances. I'm definitely waiting until I can travel freely. Hopefully, until I can travel freely. And if I can't, I'm just never fucking going anywhere. They can't force Japanese people to do what they've been doing in Europe, what they've been doing in Italy. They can't force that on people because 30% of Japan's population is really elderly. It's really old. And you can't force people to use apps and QR codes and shit like that. So Japan is pretty safe when it comes to the government forcing you to do shit, because you just can't do it. Like 10% of the population has fucking dementia. How are you going to force these people to do anything? You know what I mean? So Japan actually has that buffer of old people to protect us from the government forcing us onto some QR code bullshit program, I think. Japan has more freedom than America right now. It's really scary, really sad. It's very unhealthy to cut out carbs altogether. Keto's bullshit will fuck your energy levels long term. Pretty sure like 5% carbs is totally fine. You don't need to eat too many carbs. I eat fruit, man. I get enough carbs from eating like 1 to 2 fruits a day. That's totally fine for me. I feel good. I'm not like religiously trying to be keto. I did do keto before, and I did it very badly because I listened to like the mainstream keto doctors and stuff on YouTube that recommend a high vegetable based diet. They recommend a lot of coconut oil and avocados and stuff like that. But those actually aren't the fats that we need most, which are saturated animal fats. So I tried keto before, and I quit ultimately because I think keto is really flawed because they focus on the wrong thing. I don't think the main focus should be no carb. So that's not my main focus. I'm not specifically going out of my way to not eat carbs. I just don't think it's necessary to, like, why would we have to be eating like rice and bread and like it's obviously not a necessary thing. It's a very new modern invention. 80% of Japanese have taken it. Yeah. Like we've already talked about, Japanese people follow along with the crowd. They don't think for themselves. Like, Japanese people obey. So they are doing it. Which is why they're not forcing you to do it, because they're doing it anyway. So probably I'm fine and I won't have to do it. Which I'm very happy about because I don't want to take it. Anyway, let's talk about something else, guys. You got weird takes, and that makes you interesting. I just don't believe or trust in the government in any way whatsoever, and I assume that if the government wants us to do something, we should probably think about doing the opposite. So maybe that gives me a lot of interesting takes, but that's the fundamental, that's the basis of the way I look at things. Most people seem to just fucking trust the government like they have your best interest in mind. When has the government ever had your best interest in mind? When have they ever fucking cared about you at all, in any capacity whatsoever? Why would it be different now? Think about it. Why would it be different now? It's not. Listen, I can't talk about this on a YouTube stream. I think they'll take me down. So, what are my reasons? My reasons are this. I'm focusing on having a fucking healthy body, exercising, you know, eating really well. And if I'm healthy, then even if I catch some sort of disease or virus, I'm going to be completely fine. It's natural immunity. You know who's fucking dying from the virus? People who are obese, people with serious health conditions. That's who should be worried about it. And those are the people who maybe should take whatever the fuck they're telling you to take, you know? But for me, I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm eating well, I'm feeling good. Why would I why would I do that? It's completely unnecessary. Shadow ban. I'm trying to not say the words that cannot be said, so hopefully everything is fine. But stop talking about it in the chat. They're gonna catch on. You gotta stop talking about it. Oh wow. Mr. Jason Geneva says, you moved to South Carolina to avoid it and left your family behind. Damn, you're pretty hardcore, bro. Pretty hardcore, bro. Do you still listen to Man Man? Yeah. Not often, but I still like Man Man. They're a great band, yeah. Man Man is my go-to music that I play on piano. Whenever, I don't have a piano in my house, but whenever I see a piano around, like, I can play a lot of Man Man songs and sing along. They're really fun to sing. And simple to play, generally. And really fun to solo on. Like that song, what's that song called? Hold On to Your Heart? Hold on to your heart. That has a really good chord progression that is really fun to solo on. I think we should chill with those takes, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess we should chill with those takes. People can't see that the government is just the company with a monopoly on force. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say just. Pretty simple way to look at it, but that is one way to look at it. Meat was always food for kings. Cheap cars was always slave food. Yep, that's true. That's true. Not always, because, you know, go back far enough and humans were all eating mostly meat. They were all hunting. And then when we developed larger and larger societies and larger cities, then social classes developed. And then, yes, the rich people were eating meat and the peasants were eating grains, yes. Because what are grains? Grains give you enough energy to survive for a while and work, but they don't actually give you what you need to thrive and be healthy. So that's why in fucking Cambodia and with Pol Pot and shit, they were giving him a bowl of fucking rice a day, you know. Communist China, they didn't even have a fucking bowl of rice a day, but that's what they were after. At least they wanted a fucking bowl of rice. Because it keeps you alive. Keeps you alive for a while. But, yeah. It's definitely not the basis of a healthy diet, that's for sure. King Shiv is also good. Yeah, man. King Shiv is my favorite Man Man song, man. That's my favorite song. That's interesting that you mentioned that song. That song's chorus is such a profound meaning. Thanks a lot for popping in, Dan. You got me to eat that egg. See you around. Good night, Dan. King Shiv is also good. Yeah, so that song's chorus, like, makes me think of so many different things that are connected. Like, he says, a secret life between your eyes that I don't seem to see. Are you satisfied with waiting for heaven forever? And that's just such like a personally, it just hits so hard, that line. A secret life between your eyes that I don't seem to see. Are you satisfied with waiting for heaven forever? You can just imagine somebody who's like maybe suffering from addiction, or just spending their time and just like wasting their life away basically, but they can't see it because they're waiting for heaven, and they believe in something, and they believe in success, or they believe it's good for them, or they believe, and you can see it, everybody else can see it. I think it's like it's a really profound chorus. It's a really poetic way to put it. Really good imagery. Great song. You should do a cover of King Shiv. Maybe I should. I never learned how to play that song, actually. I could play it on guitar, I think. Never played it on piano. Yes, Gogol Bordello. I've seen Gogol Bordello live 27 times. That's not an exaggeration. I've seen them live 27 times. I don't really listen to them anymore because I have overdosed on them. I have literally seen them live 27 times. So I'm pretty much the biggest Gogol Bordello fan there ever was. We were always waiting in line in New York City on New Year's in the freezing cold. And just to be front row, we were always front row. I was literally front row at like 25 out of 27 of those concerts. I said my opinion on it, bro. I think if you're healthy, you don't need to do it. There should be no reason to do it if you're healthy, because it's not that serious. And they're using the current situation as a way to completely destroy the last freedoms that we have left as Americans, and it's fucking disgusting. It's depressing. It's really sad. The world is becoming one big communist shit show with ultra censorship, crazy fucking laws that impede your freedom spreading around. Just terrible. Do you listen to Honus solo stuff? Yeah, I have heard all of his solo stuff. Didn't like it as much as Man Man. The new Man Man album was a lot better than Honus' solo stuff, that's for sure. I like Cloud 9 a lot. Cloud 9's a good song. Cloud 9 reminds me of On Oni Pond. The same kind of sound. If you had to do anything over again the last few years, what would you change? Last few years? I don't really have many regrets. I wouldn't change anything. If you have a gut, you have a fatty liver 99% of the time, and the coop can get you. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I have a fatty liver. Fatty liver comes from overconsumption of fructose and shit, right? Why would I have a fatty liver? I've never been much of a sweets guy anyway. I've never been that guy who eats a lot of desserts and snacks and shit. I used to eat a lot of rice, but I cut that out. Australia has been scary. Yeah, Australia is fucked, man. Australia's always been fucked. There's no freedom in Australia. It's really sad, too, because Australian people are so chill. So weird how they let their government get away with what they're doing. But Australian people, whenever I meet Australians, like, they're always the friendliest people. And it's just, like, terrible. Ever smoke the ganja? Yeah, don't like it. Gives me a bad reaction. Read One Piece, bro. Suck my dick. Alright, seems like this is winding down. Not a lot of interesting topics here. Maybe we should end the stream. Should we do a little PS1 gameplay and call it? Look at the US full of fatties. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. The U.S. government knew that carbs were bad for you 100 years ago, but made the food pyramid what it is because carbs are cheap and they didn't want to spend public money on it. Yeah, yeah. It's peasant food. It's slave food. Like, it's so much easier for the government to subsidize wheat and corn and soy, these cheap commercial crops, and feed the population as opposed to promoting meat. Like, imagine if they actually promoted meat, how logistically impossible it would be to get the entire population to eat good quality meat every day. Logistically, it's just so much easier to get people to eat carbs. That's why they got people to eat mostly carbs. Like, that's what it is. And the US wasn't always full of fatties. It only happened in the last like 70 years. It only happened with the introduction of seed oils, and seed oils replaced beef tallow and lard, which were the dominant fats, the main fats that people were cooking with. So, yeah, like, it's really kind of sad that how the rest of the world, they laugh at Americans and how fat Americans are, but it's not just an American problem, it's a global problem. In Japan too, I've noticed a lot more fat people. The food in Japan is not very healthy anymore. They have tons of fast food. People fucking love donuts. And the difference between Japan and America is I think people know that it's junk food. Like, nobody looks at McDonald's as like a great restaurant or something. But in Japan, I think that most people just kind of like McDonald's. They don't really think of it as that bad. They think of it as like an American restaurant or like a burger restaurant. They don't think of it as like shit fast food, like the worst fucking possible food you could eat. But I think in most countries, like Western countries, we understand that McDonald's is fucking shit tier food. Yeah, it's really weird, Japan. People always praise Japan for the longest life expectancy. I think that's the previous generation, man. That's the previous generation that was eating like mackerel every day. It's not this generation that's eating convenience store bento boxes and rice balls and donuts and fried chicken. And it's not this generation. You're going to see a huge change, I think, in the life expectancy of this generation of Japanese people. So you can laugh at Americans being overweight, but it's a global, international thing. The vegan agenda, the vegetable, plant-based agenda is an international thing. I wish I didn't eat so many carby foods like rice, but that's just impossible to turn out. Yeah, it's really hard at first because first of all, you have to eat enough fats to replace it. You need to be like fucking drinking eggs. Like, they're pretty fatty. Like, drink 6 eggs a day. Eat a lot of raw butter. Just like literally eat a spoon of butter, 5 spoons of butter. If you eat enough fat, you won't feel the need to eat carbs. If you're not eating fat, obviously you need to eat carbs, because we need an energy source from somewhere. If you don't eat carbs, then you can use fat as the energy source. So you need one or the other. If you just try to stop eating carbs and you keep the rest of your diet the same, of course it's impossible. You won't be able to function. You need an energy source. So never try to just reduce carbs without eating a lot of fat. How different are the Japanese McDonald's? As far as I can tell, not very different. They just have a couple different menu items, like a teriyaki burger. People keep asking about Double Four. I'm not interested in discussing Double Four. Ugh. Like, I have no comment. Political correctness is only created by weak people using social media. Okay. Like, I don't know. What are you going on about? Japan's gas station egg salad sandwiches are unreal. I had them every couple days for breakfast while I was there. Those things are caked to the brim with sugar, though. Yeah, they're pretty bad. They mix in so much mayonnaise, man. And also tons of preservatives. That's the problem with the convenience store food. Like, rice should not be kept at room temperature for that long, but the convenience store onigiris, the rice balls, are good for so fucking long. And why is that? It's because they are filled with preservatives to keep them fresh. So it's not the best way to eat. It's definitely not the best food. Like people compare Japanese convenience stores to like American ones and like, wow, so healthy, so many healthy options. It's so great. It's so high quality. It's like, well, at the end of the day, it's still shitty convenience store food that you should not be eating. It's pretty good though. In a pinch, it's definitely pretty good. Definitely could be worse. I think I'm gonna end the stream, guys. If you got any last minute things you want to fucking ask, or last minute shows of support for the cause, we're currently raising money for nothing. I'm going to keep the money and I'm going to buy meat and fish. So if you want to support me and my high consumption of other life forms, then please call 1-800 code provider and donate now. Thank you very much. If you're only getting dietary fiber from fruit and you are eating that much fat, then your arteries might be fucked eventually. I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. That's just not how it works. Fat doesn't clog your arteries, man. That's the fucking unnatural, ultra-processed seed oils, sugars. I think you're a little bit misinformed about nutrition. You might want to look into that. Good to see you, Brandon. Destroy the stream to destroy the evidence. The evidence of what? I didn't say anything too damning on this stream, I guess. I don't know. Some of those mini Lawson meals were straight up euphoric when I went back to my place from the bars. Yeah, well, after drinking, of course, it's like, it feels amazing to have those 24 hours available food options, you know? But that's a different story. That's when you've already fucking poisoned yourself drinking all night, so you're just like desperate for food. I've definitely been there before where you're like, you eat a fucking convenience store burger and you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. By the way, fishes are being held in disgusting conditions. They're blind and shit. I don't eat farmed fish. I eat wild caught fish. I live in Japan. It's fucking island. There's water everywhere. They go out to the ocean and they catch fish. The fish aren't being held. The fish are in the ocean. I don't eat like Norwegian salmon's really popular here for sushi and stuff. I never eat that shit. I don't eat farmed shit. I eat wild caught fish. You think I don't know these things, man? You don't think I know what I'm doing here? I think I know what I'm doing here, bro. Eat my asa at 30 viewers. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm pretty tired now. Shit. I think I'm gonna go buy some fish and then go to the gym. And then do something else. Play some Halo. I don't know. Alright, see you later, Papa Genji. Respect. Peace out, everybody. That's it for today. Got a lot of controversial topics in here. Jeez Louise. A lot of controversies. Alright, peace out. Stream's over.